Mm.
All right, y'all. We hold
Where's
on.
that other drink at?
All right. Let me go in. All right, we are live, people. We are live. We are live. Welcome to Chat Her Up. Today we have we're going to recap Real Housewives of Potomac season 10, episode 12, Ponies and Problems. Today it's myself, Joy. We have Callie
Hello.
and we have Demisio.
Sing it
Hi.
to baby.
And I
Sing it
believe
again.
Montique is gonna pop in at some point.
Phone.
Hi, how was your week before we get in here?
It was weeking.
I was weeking.
hmm It's weeking. Oh, yeah.
Right, same. Haven't done anything. I mean, I went to work
hmm
yesterday. I'm off today, so I just kind of been chilling all day, and I'm sitting outside right now enjoying the air. It's actually a decent day today and not cold as hell, so I'm trying to enjoy it.
All right, so I really hadn't been doing that. This is just the second day of my little break, so I
Oh
really
Lord, when Joy swears she
because I
doesn't
don't
have
have
a
no
goddamn
job,
job,
right,
man.
for the rest of the year.
Lord,
But anyway, let's
please.
get into the chat stick moment of the week. Yay! All right, we was trying to think of like what's been going on this week. I think probably the thing that everybody has talked about has been what's going on with Nicki Minaj. And for those that don't know, she did a I don't know if this
Just put
was
on the bed.
she did an event for Turning Point USA
hmm
with Erica Kirk. And Erica Kirk is the wife of the guy who was shot in the neck a couple of months ago.
hmm
So this is a the young Turning Point USA, if you all didn't know, was an organization that really targeted young people,
La! Oh, I'm sorry.
young white people. They were really trying to change the culture on college campuses because there was this belief that all the children were going to school and then all becoming liberals and woke. So they really had an organization put to kind of get into the colleges and schools. So that's why he would just go to these places, a lot of times colleges and schools, that's where he was shot at, and just say, hey, slavery wasn't bad, change my mind, and argue with people. That's really what he did. That's what he was doing the day he was shot. He was sitting in a college somewhere on a lawn saying, he says the most craziest things for attention. And the people, and they're always like racist questions and sexist questions. It's very conservative beliefs. And they think the turning point was one of the main reasons why Donald Trump got elected, because they had went into these colleges to to really talk about conservatism and why white men dominate and women are second class citizens. Like y'all wouldn't even believe. Okay, I'm trying not to rant, but it's bills that they have put in place that could literally take away a woman's right to like ever vote again. That was a real bill that actually passed the House. It just never was taken up in the Senate. Like these are happening like right now. It's absurd to me. Okay, I'm ranting. But anyway, Nicki Minaj went on this um place and was basically bootlicking. That's what it felt like. Like, and then trying to make this about Gavin Newsom and who is the governor of California, because I guess he supports trans rights. And she was talking about it and how disgusting it was. It was cooning. It was actually really hard to watch. It was really hard to watch. And when I first was like, why is she doing this? Like, what would make her like switch like this? Like your whole career is built almost off of street life. Like,
Right.
why would you go on a conservative show like that and call? I mean, she literally said that Donald Trump and JD Vance were like handsome men, or like masculine. Like, the only thing that I could think of at
Huh?
first, I thought it was about her trying to get a pardon for her husband, and then I thought maybe this is more about her citizenship and she's been compromised. And I'm not trying to take up for Nicki Minaj. I'm just like, that is such a huge switch. Like, if you think people uh think that Nelly is a sellout and Snoop is a sellout, how could she not think that, people feel like Snoop was compromised?
I mean, do you think she cares? I don't. It
I
seems
think
like,
she's trying to stay here because she's not a citizen and she's been compromised.
oh, Nikki is not a citizen. See, I
No,
didn't know
she's
that.
not a citizen. And she has to do, like, I don't think I'm a conspiracy theorist, but like I don't know a logical reason for this.
Well, I think, if she's not a citizen, that could be the logical reason. And then I like Nicki Minaj. I don't follow a lot of everything that she does, though. I know she was getting into it with a lot of people that
Yeah.
maybe you wouldn't expect for her to. So maybe she is changing. Maybe she's starting to have so many disagreements with people you thought she might not have them with. And maybe that's why she's over here talking about how handsome Trump and Kirk
And
was.
then all at the same time promoting a new album coming out in March. It is really weird.
Yeah, she's trying to
I'm telling you,
maintain,
I
maybe.
think that this girl is under distress and
Yeah.
they're making her say this, or they're going to kick her out.
I don't know
Like,
that they're making her say that, but I think she is aware in her mind that if she's not registered, then maybe she needs to start making some changes should she need to really like beg to stay or whatever. I don't think anybody is forcing her to do it. I think
Mhm.
her mind might be telling her, God, what are my options here? I don't
and
know.
and I don't know if this is based off fact because they don't tell you how many she lost. They said she has gained 100,000 followers.
I mean, yeah, of course, those MAGA people is going to come out and follow her. She's spewing propaganda.
They have no idea what she raps about.
I'm sure they do. They probably just don't care. She's spewing that hatred. So
I just can't believe it. But anyway, y'all ready to get into this
ooh, child,
episode?
I've been ready, child. Nicki
But no,
Minaj.
no, wait a minute. I just want to talk about the last part that she said when she said that Vance was a pedophile or murder. What did she say about him?
Oh,
And then she caught
so
herself.
I forgot about that part. So she, at some point, they were just really like having a conversation backwards and forward. What she did was call JD Vance an assassin.
That's what it was.
And the girl, Erica Kirk, was like, oh no, trust me. And it was like, people were like, ooh. She was like, no, trust me. I'm telling you, I've heard everything. There's nothing you can tell me that I haven't heard. And then the crowd started booing Nikki. And then she was like, oh, no, I love her. This woman is such and such and such and such. And I'm telling you, to me, it almost felt like a movie. I ain't never seen nothing like that this before. I don't know what's going on. Like, in like politics, it's really kind of spooking me out in a weird way, because it's almost like, I don't know, we can't even believe what we're seeing anymore. That's weird. Like, the news not really telling the real news. Like, the things that make the news and the things that don't, it's scary. You get better news on TikTok. And it's like, I be scared sometimes. Like, yeah, I remind people I was a history teacher. Like, it scares me. This world looks like it's finna be so different for our children. And I mean, like, our literal children. Like, the rights that we have were like little bitty things. Or I still can't get over, there was a bill that passed the House that basically said the way that they were trying to take away the rights of the women, they were going to say that the only way you can vote is if your birth certificate and your driver's license match. There was no exceptions, 0 exceptions. So that literally meant who was going to be able to vote? It would be men. It would be mostly men, and any woman that got married for any reason or changed her last name or whatever, they couldn't vote. That bill actually passed the House. It would be law if we lived in Britain, because they don't have a Senate. Yeah, it'd be scary. But anyway, y'all ready to get into this episode?
Yeah, yes.
Because this
I'm tired. Yeah, I'm tired.
Right. So the episode begins with them still at this party, this little kid adult party they was at. This was so cheesy. All I have to tell you is, like, Giselle ain't gonna spend a dime on these chicks. Because she could have stepped it up just a little bit. That seemed like almost childish watching. You know what I mean? Y'all don't see that?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's Giselle. I expect nothing less.
Yeah, I don't know what I would expect. I wouldn't have expected that. But
I'm brand for her.
Actually, maybe, you know, I guess because they were trying to do something with the kids involved. I don't know.
Probably so. That's probably why. So that could be true. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's still a cheesy event, you know. But I guess it is the opportunity for the husbands to meet with the husbands. I will say this: Eddie is really a leader amongst these men. It's like he enjoys this.
Yeah. I think
he enjoys this. Like, I don't think you ever have to pull Eddie's leg to, like,
get on camera.
Yeah, like he, you know, he has a steady personality or whatever, but he's a good husband. And I can't stand this woman. I couldn't. I'm starting to like Wendy. Like, this season, I'm loving this Wendy. If I was presented with this Wendy, I would be a Wendy Stain right now. Because this is like her best season, hands down.
Because I feel like because she don't have, like, I mean, she has drama, but it's not like deep how it was with her and like Giselle and Robin.
It's not ugly. Yeah, it's not ugly. Yeah.
And like, I think we're getting to see Wendy's, like, kind of her real personality is kind of like slowly. It's like as the seasons go by, we're kind of seeing Wendy's real personality come out a little bit more each season.
Right.
You know, she's kind of becoming a little bit unguarded. Like I said, now.
She's giving us story. She's giving us story. She's giving us looks. This is like her best season. You know, she's giving some great confessionals. She's giving great. Like, her confessionals are really good.
And Robin is gone, Candace is gone, so Giselle and Wendy don't have both those people kind of like alienating them from each other. That makes sense, you know, so they can actually kind of like maybe talk about their issues without Robin chiming in or Candace chiming in. They can, you know, move on, and then it's like a new dynamic of girls. So it's like all of that.
And I really like seeing, straight up, I'm not gonna lie, Ashley, Giselle, and Wendy doing scenes. Like, it's pretty powerful to watch.
We could do without Ashley.
I mean, Wendy's not an OG, but I'm saying, I like this, like how tables have really turned. Like, they look good together is what I'm saying. It
could have probably been like this from the start. Had Giselle not done what Giselle, you know, usually does.
Anyway, what did you think about Stacy bringing Timu just to shake, you know, certain people's hands? And if you watch at the after show, Stacy was like, she didn't bring Timu there to see Giselle, you know, and here she comes around and introducing them like they were shady on the after show. If you all don't watch, the after show is really good, by the way. It's on
Yeah,
Peacock.
I watched it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I love that Stacey did that. Like, yeah, bitch, she is here. And Stacey is actually a very smart and strategic person. Because I fully believe that the only reason she's bringing Timo around is because it just was like the best next option to move forward with her story, with them trying to like reconcile and get back together after the whole TJ fiasco.
Oh, before I forget, something else that was on Watch Was Happening Live. With Timu. Was it Watch Was Happening Live? Oh, no. It had to be the after show. I'm sorry. One of the things that so on the show, her husband, Timu, is asking her, do you want to move in? No, can he come back to the house? And this was filmed this spring, summer. They usually they always start around, it's Wendy's birthday. Wendy, Karen, and Ashley's birthdays are actually, I think, within a week of within each other. They're right behind each other, like literally the same week or something crazy like that. So they usually start in May, maybe the end of April, and then they film. Usually they're finished around July-ish. So I forgot the point I was making. What was the point I was making? I hate when my brain go blank like that. I was trying. Oh, so that's what it was. On the Peacock show, the after show, one of the questions the producers asked Stacey was, "Has he moved in yet?" And she said
I did see
no.
that. She said
And
he's
that
still
was
coming.
filmed in, I believe, in early November. That show was filmed a couple of days after Wendy and Eddie were arrested, because originally there were rumors that Wendy didn't show up and we weren't going to have her for the after show. That was the leak that we got to know that there was going to be an after show, as a matter of fact, was that that Wendy didn't show up for the after show. That's how we knew one was coming. Because if you all didn't know, Potomac hasn't had an after show since like season 6. So I was really pleased to see it back. And they're really good on the after show. The after show is very shady. And it's like their interpretation.
I wish Angel. That's why I want Angel to have a second season. I
I
want
do.
Angel to
I
have a
really
second
want her
season.
because she can't be that sad. Like
Yeah,
people are calling them madness and sadness on
yeah.
TikTok.
It's like
They can't
girl,
be.
like when the reunion comes, like the Angel that we have been seeing on social media, in the confessionals, in the after show. That's who I want to see on the reunion.
Yes. Yeah, like Angel is talking big talk.
Yeah. And you
Like
want to know what's actually an unpopular opinion, Joy, and let me know if you agree with this or not. This actually, Angel's casting is actually not as bad as how people are making it seem, because
I
it's
said
actually
that.
a
I said that
great
last week.
representation of like an actual housewife. Like Angel's
Yes.
actually married with kids, and her introduction into the show, she has been kind of, rocky. And I think that shows elevation. And she's rewatching the show now. She's seeing what people are saying behind her back when she's not there. This is like a real evolution of actual housewife. She came in thinking this was a real friendship in a real friend group, and now she's seeing that it's really not. So I would love to see her have a second season now that she's rewatching everything, looking at what's going on social media, and for her to come back in next season and see if she'll be, and like I said, at the reunion, when the reunion films, that she'll be the Angel that we've been, seeing online and stuff. I think that's actually not. She's great casting.
Oh,
It's
you know,
showing that not everybody comes into situations. She hasn't watched the show. That's clear. She's real deal, a regular, normal person.
I said that last week to be fair that
She's
I
a
think
normal person.
she should get another season. Unfortunately, like I like one of them very much. I really like Ashley as a person. She brings a little young, a little not Portia literally, but that little young flavor that Portia
Yeah.
brought to Atlanta. That's what Ashley kind of does to Potomac. Like, I don't want it to
The
get,
cast can stay the same. I mean, we can
yeah,
get rid of Ashley though.
I think they could get rid of Keiarna and Ashley. I don't know, but I like Ashley for this these group of girls. So I'm not saying anything bad about, you know what I mean, Ashley. I'm just simply saying that it's I feel like watching this through eyes of reality TV, Giselle telling Ashley to do things to keep it crump, to keep it moving. I think Giselle's trying really, really hard to produce these, to produce this. That's why I think she said, when she really does say that she was happy to see Monique, she was happy to see Monique. I don't think these girls are doing much.
They're not.
Yeah.
I don't think these girls are doing much, and Giselle is trying to make things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can almost see the panic in her sometimes. Like, I'm telling you, sometimes I be thinking like, and I was even wondering, like, this is so deep. Did Giselle and them have a plan with Stacey, and Stacey reneged on it? I wonder about that. Like, when Giselle was at that door at her party, and she said, "I'm really disappointed with you," and I'm like,
She said
yes,
that to who?
Giselle said that to Stacey.
Oh, okay. Well,
When at the elevator, she said, "I'm really disappointed at you."
oh, when she came to put her out of the party, she had already left. Giselle's reaching. She's struggling a little bit, but it's still a good season for her. I don't
Yeah.
know what we can really do to get Ashley in a better. I don't know how we can fight to save her. I don't
know, because like that whole thing with Sharice and her sleeping with Sharice's son is really cringy. That
know.
shit ain't cute. There ain't no way they should have put that on TV. Like, even though they were both adults, it's not
Yeah.
anything illegal about what she did. Like,
Yeah.
you know, in most circles, girl, I would whoop your tail. You was sitting up here kissing on my son. Any kid that you didn't watch grow up as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
you knew him when he was 10 and you was an adult then. Like, if it was a dude, we would say he a pedophile.
Yeah, it's gross. It was funny because she really looked like she was concerned telling him that, but I
I
don't
mean,
think
when Ashley met Sharice, wasn't he grown?
no.
What?
No.
He's 20. He's like 27, 28.
Which
The
means
show was on.
which mean when he met Sharice,
Yeah.
he was 16 or something like that. So no, he wasn't grown.
I thought
Yeah.
he was 24.
Now, well, that's even
No, he's like
worse.
almost 30.
What's his name?
He's 27. They showed it on the show. He's
Oh,
27.
okay.
So, and the show's been on for 10 seasons.
Yeah, so that means he was like 16, 17.
Yeah, he wasn't grown. That's gross.
It's, to me, it's just gross. Like, even when I be meeting adult men, you know how men be sitting around just lying, saying how old they were when they had sex the first time, and they be like 13,
Mm-hmm.
and then they say, "Yeah, my mama friend." I be looking at them like
crazy.
squint in
Yeah.
my face, like, nigga, you was
Yeah.
molested. Like,
Yeah.
you don't see that? You sitting up here
Yep.
smiling, telling the story when you were molested. And you
That's
don't
scary.
even have the emotional intelligence as a 47-year-old man to know that. That ain't no funny story.
You know, I think that there's some of the men that went through that at those early, they knew that was molestation. I don't care what they say, they knew it. They just don't want to put that out there because they're boys. That's supposed to be their first time. Some of them are thinking, I really was affected by that in not a good way. However, I can't say that to my boys.
Yeah,
That's
like,
what I think.
it's
Sometimes.
weird. Like, but I mean, these be like general conversations that you have with adult men, and
Mhm.
you know, that you kind of sometimes you're ear hustling. But I'm like, that's like crazy. How can you as a man not see that? But anyway, it was kind of gross. They shouldn't have added that. So I don't know if Ashley had to take one for the team to try to get a reaction out of her. Out of Sharice. And she's not gonna act out of pocket.
Sharice won't?
No. And she said she didn't know.
Mm.
But that's like nasty. That's to me, that's like nasty. But anyway, moving on. Um, it was when I was watching the scene, I was saying that she
I
had to.
mean, yeah, because
Oh,
I
and
mean, I
you would
feel
say
like if that's just like if I dated one of my friends' kids, like, because I have friends that are older with like kids that are like in high school and
Mhm.
stuff like that. It's like if I dated one of my friends' kids when they got grown.
Mm. It's weird.
Yeah,
it's
I
weird.
mean, he was grown, so it's like, and Ashley ain't that old. I mean, she's older than him, but she's not like 50, 60 years old. But it's still like weird because I mean, he was like a kid when you met him. He was
Especially when
16.
that's your real friend. Like
Yeah.
they are real friends. Like the people that actually hang out. Yeah, if y'all follow Ashley, she stay on social media. So she always putting her things out. Like some of them actually do hang out. Like Giselle, I've been telling people season after season, people saying she the new Robin and stuff. I was like, y'all haven't been paying attention. Giselle and Ashley have been hanging out for years. Like
Yeah.
they were like friends. Like if you go back in earlier seasons, they actually used to butt heads.
Well, they did, but I think they're friends only because they're on the show. I don't think it would. I don't think it would stand a long time after one of them left the show. I don't.
I don't know, but I know Ashley and Giselle, they have to trust one another because Giselle's children babies used to babysit for Ashley. Like
Hmm.
they had a whole system and her girls working for them. Yeah, like I think that they actually has a genuine friendship. There are some of them that do. Whether or not it would stand the test of time, I don't know. But I
Yeah.
think that they are real friends. They're at too many monumental events.
Yeah,
Like
babysitting wouldn't be one of them though, because people hire strangers to come to their house and babysit. So I don't know. We hope I don't see Ashley leaving in no time soon, unfortunately. So I guess it don't matter.
yeah. But it is what it is. But yeah, I just
Hmm.
thought that scene was so cringy to me.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
uh,
they're cute together. They make a cute couple, but that's where it's
did
the
y'all
start.
think that Angel was lying about what she told them about her leaving that house?
No, no. I think that she kind of just took for granted that if I didn't tell you I was leaving, you wouldn't go put nobody else up in here. I think she thought she was going to run that whether she talked to the owners of the home or not. So I don't think he was lying. She just kind of thought she would be able to get away with it and didn't expect them to have rented it out, which I don't know why people do that, but they do.
That was very irresponsible. But yeah,
Mhm.
like that's
Mhm.
insane. Like,
Yeah.
this ain't I don't think she broke though, and I don't think
Mm-mm.
but I absolutely believe that she just came here to film this show. And
Yeah.
that's okay. Because it has happened before. Like it has happened on several occasions. Kenya really came to Atlanta to film a show.
Did Monique come to buy that house to be on the show when her and Chris first came on? Didn't they? Because they just moved there as
Um,
well, from what I remember.
yeah, but I think they have ties to that neighborhood, those
That
neighborhoods.
area.
I think that's a
Okay.
little bit different. Like,
Hmm.
Kenya did have an aunt in Atlanta, but she never lived in Atlanta before.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, if
Hmm.
you got
Hmm.
roots in a place, I think it's a little bit different. And I just don't think that Kenya didn't have no roots in Atlanta. She just, got an opportunity and she took it. And she rebranded herself. Regardless of how I feel about her character, I would never deny that, like Kenya's contribution to stellar seasons. As a matter of fact, its highest seasons ever um, um, recorded on Bravo's for their ratings. The highest two ratings is at the Atlanta season 5 and 6, and season 5 is when Portia and Kenya joined the show.
Oh, was it that late? There was 5 seasons in? Huh.
They were 5 seasons in.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and
They were
so
good picks.
yeah, it was a really good mix of ladies. So yeah, I would never deny it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just I say it's irresponsible because I felt like Angel, like 3 days or one, such a short window of time is scary when you got like young kids. Like adults can figure things out, but that was just really irresponsible, and it was something that irresponsible while you be filming a show. That's why I think that they stayed there to film the show. But anyway, let's move on to Miss Tia. What you think about Tia and her family, her and her husband and her kids sitting down? This was Tia's version of setting some rules straight.
I mean, I liked it. It was it was like a real scene. Getting to know Tia a little bit personally. I've noticed that when Tia's not really around Giselle and them, she's a little bit more likable.
I think nothing of it. She's a nice lady. I don't know why she's on the show though.
I love
I
her.
can kind of concur to that a little bit, Callie. It's just like, I mean, I like Tia too, but it's like, I mean, if she left next season, I wouldn't.
Right.
Wouldn't look at
Nice
things.
lady. The family seems nice. I just don't. I mean, it was good seeing her go at it with the football wife. What's her name? But yeah, so she should get a second season because she's not easy to dislike. Not that she would want to. It's just that she hasn't really brought a lot of spice, but she's still very interesting, and I think it'd be good to see her back. I guess she's interesting. I mean, I like her. She's just kind of boring this season.
She's given this particular episode, in my opinion, was like, we didn't rate the episodes. This was probably one of the best episodes I've ever seen on Potomac because they were really giving us real story. Like nothing, no, at no point in any segment did it feel like it was like a forced conversation or just whatever. This was a really, really, really good episode. They really giving us story. Like Tia's story is amazing to be sharing your first season on the show, I think.
Now, what's amazing about the story?
It's I mean, although you have your father that's deceased, her father basically, I don't know.
Oh, he had the baby out of wedlock.
He had a whole nother family with somebody. And him wanting his kids to be together and her not wanting them to be together. Like
that's true. I forgot about that scene. That was a very good scene.
Yeah, it was a very good scene.
Yeah.
And like she's giving us a real story. Like I don't know about y'all, but I think she's one of the better housewives I've seen on any TV screen in like a minute. Like this girl ain't scared of these girls. She gonna speak up for herself. She not sitting in the corner. Like she's actually, and it looks like she got a family that make us laugh or they give us something interesting when we watch it. Like, and the fact that she's English, she got that accent. So it helps. I don't know if y'all noticed, she had a list. She has a list in her. I think when somebody was saying that her accent is faked, or I can't remember who insinuated. I can't remember if it was Giselle or it was Stacey. Oh, insinuated that Tia fakes her accent. Tia actually is top tier housewife in my opinion. Like she's really, really interesting. She came in like she's been here.
Yeah. I thought it was really sweet when her sister said she remembers the one time that Tia called her and said, "Just so you know, you are loved."
Oh, yeah.
I had forgot about that scene. That's weird that I forgot about that.
It was. I'm telling you, that was a really. I'm really, really impressed. Like that. That's a hard thing to really talk about. Like nobody wants to. I wrote a book once about this girl who. Well, I ain't gonna tell you. Anyway, don't worry about it. Anyway, I just really like her family. I like listening to her story because it is very interesting. It's very Bridgerton. Africans living in English. That's how England. That's how all the black people get into England. They were all brought there. They were all Africans.
Yeah.
They haven't shied away from that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool to watch. But anyway,
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that changed it. You're right. She's probably better than I'm giving her credit for.
yeah, like she's giving us story, like a straight up for real story.
Yeah.
And I am not of the belief that everybody has to have a story, because sometimes the mess is the story.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually the person that people be, she don't even never have nothing to say. Yeah, because she's starting to mess within the group. That's her story.
Yeah.
Like, don't y'all remember at a Potomac reunion when Giselle and Candace had got into it, and one of the things that they talked about, she was like, that's when she mentioned you should have concentrated on your failing uterus or whatever. And one of the things that Giselle said at that reunion, I'm surprised they let this slip. She said, I have no control over what they present. I've been going through this whole season. So she presented a story, but Bravo decided not to make that her story. Like, sometimes people can choose their story. It's just kind of like what's happening with Wendy. I asked you all last week, did y'all think Wendy planned this as her story? And what I mean by playing this, them showing that she renovating her house and spending all of this money there. It seems like Bravo honed in on every word of luxury, wealth, money, spend, to highlight that for Wendy. So
something ain't right.
That's what I'm telling you. So it's either Bravo has fabricated this, and I mean, not necessarily, you can't say fabricated. She really did renovate her house. But what they had normally presented, that story, had what happened with Wendy hadn't happened. I do wonder about that.
I wonder as well. I mean, I was glad to see it because she really did get some furniture this time. The blue couch was cute and all, but I don't know if they would have brought all this to the show. Mm-hmm. It's amazing and not much of a coincidence to me that they're bringing up every financial topic that any hint of it in any part of her on this show is all coming out now.
And
it's just really weird.
Don't get me wrong, Wendy is giving us story this year.
Yeah,
she has become very vulnerable with her connection with her father, and Wendy wasn't talking about that the seasons prior.
Well, she was talking about her mom and how her mom was raised, and she felt like she was doing a lot of her career for her mom, not for herself.
You're correct.
So
yeah, you're right.
That part was good. But her mom last night, the way she got cussed out.
Woo! Oh. That was one of the, I hate to say it dramatically, that was not fake.
At all.
I mean, that was not fake. Like, Wendy, I'm like, Wendy is that girl. Like, she don't have anything dramatic that would probably put her at first chair. But I'm telling you, the person who got the straight up best season is Wendy. Now, I'll give it to Stacey. I ain't particularly crazy about Stacey, but Stacey is actually presenting story too.
Yeah,
I just think everything she's presenting is fake as hell.
Yeah, well, I agree. I think both of them. I don't think Wendy will get first chair, but I think she sure could. I mean, I think Stacey might get it before her, but they are the two people with the story. Yeah. To me,
it ain't just them. Tia's giving great story.
Tia gave one.
It ain't no one. This whole thing about her sister, this isn't the first time, and she doing something else with her sister. This is her story.
But what, aside from her sister, what is her other story?
That she ain't gotta have another story.
Okay, all right. But
because that's personal.
Her dad is another story.
Huh?
Y'all talking about her dad?
Well, that's all encompassed into one. I think.
Right.
I think that's all one story, and that's fine. It don't matter what her story is. You just should give a personal story.
It doesn't have to be multiple things. Yeah. You should still be giving like a personal story. So this is okay.
Yeah.
So she's showing her family dynamic.
Yeah, she's showing her family like that. That's what you're supposed to do. That literally is the whole point of the show. I really like.
And every time I see Susan, I just think of Holy Ghost fire.
What?
Remember when she said that she was like Holy Ghost fire when the whole naked thing was going on?
Oh
Oh
yeah, I
God.
remember. Yeah, but that scene with and they spending a lot of time on Wendy.
And baby
Like her
Susan is
personal story,
light,
they're
honey.
spending a lot of time on her story. They're telling it.
And
Shit.
Susan has bleached the capacity, child, and lost some weight.
Who?
Susan,
Who?
Wendy Mama.
Oh yeah. She
She been
needs to
lost
lay off that
weight.
bleaching. That bleaching looks terrible.
And so Wendy just felt like both of them always leave and turn against her mama and the sister. Wendy's tears were real to me. I was like, wow, this is really kind of sad. They was
When,
both like, Wendy, you doing too much. Just because
when
she wanted
Wendy,
to kind of
when,
be on her dad's side for 2 seconds. I don't know. It's kind of it was interesting.
I understood both ends of that argument.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
love when she
understood
told
the
them to get
mama.
out.
I understood the mama. The mama like, yo, girl, I'm the one that had 4 jobs to get y'all through school. I'm the one that fed you. Your daddy left. I'm the one that's been here. I get that part. But also at the same time, that is her biological father.
Right.
And when she said, when that mama said, to the grandchildren he have never seen. I was like, yeah. She was pissed about that. I felt that. So I get what she's talking about. Or the fact that Wendy came into the country and you wouldn't even go see her. That's sick to me. That, that's like child abandonment, but at the same time, I can't judge Wendy for wanting to have a relationship with her daddy.
Right. Yeah.
But so much about that really explains Wendy. She's like, she wanted to, if y'all listen to what she said she wanted to go to see her father so he could see how well she's doing.
I just so wish that this whole fraud thing didn't come up as we're seeing him on the show and seeing her so happy about their success. And now for the world, including him, to know possibly it was all a fraud.
Yeah.
That breaks my heart about the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
Yeah, you're right. That it's jacked up. Like, first of all, let's talk about her renovations. I love her kitchen.
I do too.
Yeah, same.
I like the space of her living room, but
I actually like Wendy's whole house. Wendy has good style.
I don't like that Italian looking disco look that's back. I know it's back, but that's the 1970s look. And for the record, it looked like some stuff that Giselle would put in her house.
That's really sad.
That's her flavor. That's literally her flavor, that 70-ish kind of freak out. She's probably allowing her girls to kind of live in their own little femininity with all that pink and purple, like she a teenager. You know what I mean? Like, it was a girl's house.
Yeah.
And and I'm sure she was probably like, I'm getting this house because this is the first house she would be able to buy for her children by herself. So you do what you want to do with your house. But they got similar tastes. But her kitchen is gorgeous. Wendy's kitchen is gorgeous. But that furniture and stuff look like some Giselle stuff. But and
now I don't think they have similar tastes. That's an insult.
Well, I'm talking about in furniture.
That's what I mean.
If you Google Giselle's house.
I can tell you room for room. I love her house.
There's one room
she had to redo it, but the furniture is not.
I'll give you an example. If you look at Giselle's, there's a picture of her. It's almost like a I forgot, an L-shaped sectional, and it got like pink pillows on it, or purple, or fuchsia. It's one of the three. Anyway, on it, if you do a screenshot and put that side by side with Wendy's thing, because somebody did it in the group, it was almost hers was just substituted with blue. It was like that black, that disco 70s look. Everything is shiny. Her kitchen even represented that.
I get what you're saying. I think that Giselle has more of a it's okay to have a burgundy couch with the orange chair next to it type thing. No matter what. I mean, she just kind of, if she likes it, she's going to get it, which is what we're all supposed to do. Wendy at least has an attempt to make everything appear cohesive. And so I can't,
You wrong.
it's true.
I
I
mean,
mean,
it's not my style.
yeah,
And I'm gonna put it keep your buck. East Coast stuff isn't really my style.
yeah,
You know, they think they be the leaders in fashion. Some of the stuff they be wearing is ugly as hell.
yeah,
So, you know, it's kind of
it's
weird.
true. Yeah.
Yeah. So the East Coast, I'm just not a fan of any of like their styles. But it is what it is. Anyway, when they show her daddy picture, I'm talking about Wendy daddy. Did you think he looked like her? Because I did.
Wait, say what again, Joy?
I said when Wendy, you know, when Wendy showed her picture of her daddy, and
Oh,
she looked like her daddy.
uh-huh.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that being messy. And her mama's wig was bad.
Oh yeah.
Wendy gonna
But I
have
don't
to.
know. Wendy's dynamic with her mom and what was going on was like, I mean, like I said, I think I said this last week. Like it was normal in a way to me because of how I grew up. So I grew up like seeing my mom and my brother like fuss and fight with each other because my brothers were grown by the time I came along. My mom had me at an older age, so I was already grown and living life. And her and my middle brother, they fought a lot. So seeing that was like, it wasn't just like out of the norm for me per se, because I done seen my mom and my brother have some knockout, drag out arguments.
Have you?
Yes, I have. Like, literally to this day, my brother still like struggles with my mom's death because they were not speaking when my mom
Oh, wow. Yeah.
passed, because they had got into like a big fight about something. And
Yeah.
my brother was refusing to talk to her, and he
Mhm.
always tells me that all the time. He wish he could go back and change that. Because my mom was type like she was kind of like a Susan in a way, like I took care of you, and
Mhm.
all of that. And she would always like, my mom had her way of saying I'm sorry without directly saying like I'm sorry. Like she
Yeah.
would teach you, because I mean she would even do me like that. Like when we got into like an argument or something, like really like a really bad argument, and I wasn't talking to her or whatever, she'll like leave me some money on the counter, or I mean, my mom knew I smoked weed like in high school, so or she would like leave me some weed on the counter, or
No,
she
she would not. Would she?
yes, that's it. We had like a very good relationship once I got older and when I came out as gay and stuff. I think that kind of made us a little closer. So or like if she needed some weed or something, she would definitely be coming to my room because my
Right.
mom
That
didn't smoke
sounds so funny.
Rillos. She smoked joint paper. She didn't like smoke Rillos. And she was like, "You got some weed, so I can make me a joint." And I'd be like,
Mm-mm.
"Girl, but here." Because when I didn't have no weed, I would go in there to her and be like, "Girl, I don't got no weed. I don't got no money. Can you roll me a joint?"
That is too funny.
And that was like kind of like a bonding thing for us. So like she'll be like, "You want something from the store? I'm going to Dumas, which is like a neighboring town. So you want some McDonald's?" That was like her way of like apologizing to me
Yeah.
or
That's
whatever.
cute.
So, I grew up like with my mom telling cussing me out the way Susan was cussing Wendy out. My mom used
How
to.
old were you when your mom died?
I was 16.
Oh my God. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I have like a 20 and a 15-year age gap between my two older brothers.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have seen them, baby, fight and cuss each other out and make up and whatever. So that was kind of normal to me because I grew up like that. Like my mom would cuss us out if she got mad. You
Mm-hmm.
know. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Giselle giving a story too. I just don't think they airing it. By the way,
What do you
her
think she's
story,
giving?
because Giselle's story is kind of very boring, like her. But I mean, no wonder why
I
they
think
edited
her
it out.
personal I think her personal story is supposed to be about her father and his foundation, and then the court case, and they not airing it.
Well,
Thank God.
because
Sharing
yeah,
us
I mean,
story.
Yeah, I think we've heard enough. We know that, that she believes that the stepmom changed that paperwork at the last minute. And based on the little that we've heard, I believe she's right. The little wife did change it. I don't know that it was something that we would want to hear too much of, though, because I think we have enough of that. What else do you think she's telling aside from that?
I don't know. I mean,
Nothing.
obviously they filmed more because she
Was
filmed. They
immediately.
showed the clip of her and the girls talking, so it's very obvious that more about this was filmed. Is what I'm saying, because there's a quick clip of
Hmm.
one of the twins and Grace, and they were talking. So they're filming other things. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
again,
but Grace and them are going to college now, and that was kind of Giselle's only saving grace that we actually liked about her. Now they're gone, so we don't care about anything else about her personal life.
Well, there's not a
um,
person aside from Dad, though. I mean, there. I don't. I just don't think there's anything. I wish there was. I
I
mean,
don't
because
care about who Giselle's dating.
yeah.
I, I don't know if she's still dating that guy that they were talking about. I don't know, but she's dating somebody because Giselle just came back from Jamaica with somebody.
Yeah.
She,
Some
I
good
follow
man.
her on her podcast with her and Robin, and she was talking about something. And Robin was asking questions like Giselle is that she's out here in the streets. The reality is Giselle ain't been comfortable enough to present any of them on TV. She ain't Portia. One of the
Thank
reasons why,
God.
and one of the reasons why we really like Portia. Portia had a dude on TV after her and Cordell were dating that on camera said that he don't even understand what's going on between him and Portia.
That was a mess. It's
I'm
that other
telling you,
football player kid.
yeah, it
Hmm.
was a football player that she was talking to, and she was introducing him as her man, and
They were
he
looking at condos,
yeah,
and he was like, "What? Who's more?
what
What?"
right, like yeah, you don't want anything like that.
Right. Right.
I mean, Giselle has a boring life. I mean, we just don't care about it. I mean, she's just really good for stirring up mess, and that's a sad thing to say, but it's kind of really just the truth. I don't want to know anything about her life. Giselle just doesn't have that it factor. I mean, outside from being messy. So I mean, I understand why they, edit her the way that they do. Sticking her to the chops that actually make her tolerable in the group because you do need somebody to do it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I have to agree with you.
I'm just saying,
But I
she,
do like Giselle. I mean, I don't see. I think she definitely needed. She's a really great producer.
yeah, because somebody has to do it.
Yeah,
We
but
have to
she
have a
Somebody in
she
part.
every group has to do what Giselle is doing. And when we were watching Ultimate Girls Trip, I think that's season 3. It was a season that Giselle and Portia were on together. The Miami girls said they needed somebody like Giselle
They have
because
somebody like Giselle though, so that's ironic that they even said
that was
that.
years ago. I don't know if they do now, but it was
At
that.
the time, they had the very people that were saying it to Giselle are the Giselles of their show. So that's why I found that ironic.
Yeah, yeah. I
Because
don't know.
Marceau
They
does
must have been
literally,
putting out the same vibe. People are
yeah,
taking.
Marceau does literally the exact same thing that Giselle does, except Marceau just has a story, actually. And it's actually interesting through her messiness, because I can't stand her ass either, but she actually has a personal story. That's really the only difference between her and Giselle. Other than that, Marceau's job in the group is literally to stir shit up, and she does it all the time. And Alexia is literally is her Robin. It's literally the exact same thing. So it's ironic that they said that when they literally act just like Giselle and Robin.
First, I loved
Seriously.
Robin.
Oh,
No,
but I will give Giselle this compliment though, Joy. I will say this. At least Giselle is not like Kyle in trying to control and produce everything that's shown. She's messy and she stirs the pot. And I mean, she has a personal story, but as I've already mentioned, no one cares. And it is what it is. And I think we've accepted that. And I think Giselle has accepted how she's gonna be edited. At least it's authentic. So I'll
And
give her that.
Giselle don't even complain about her edits. In
Yeah,
10 seasons, and there have been seasons where Giselle was pounded on. Season after season after season. Giselle
so deserved.
she never went on bloggers and try to say and this or blame it on the editors or do she may give her interpretation of the event. You may or may not agree with her, but she does her job and she leaves. And very recently she did a program of some sort. I don't know where she was, but it was like a room full of women. And I can't remember what the question was from the audience, but one of the things that Giselle, how do you handle tough? I can't remember what the question was, but Giselle was like, she does her job and she goes home. She says, I don't take this with you. She said, you can't really take this with you because there's a constant roll of like stuff being thrown at you. And she was like, I don't read the comments. I'm not all on social media trying to change people's minds or try to put stuff out there. She says, you take it and you move on.
Yeah, she does do that. I'll give her that.
She was like, you have to take it and you move on. And that's some pretty tough skin for somebody that wouldn't bust a grape.
That's true. I mean, she does have tough skin, and she said it even at the at BravoCon when the lady was like, "Giselle's mean to me." Giselle's like, "Okay, I'll take it. I am mean to you, and I'm proud about it. If this is what you want to say, that's what I do. That's what she'll do." So, I mean, she's pretty honest about herself. She doesn't pretend to be something that she's not. I can say that. I like her in that aspect.
Yeah.
Sometimes she can be overly mean, but this season, I mean,
she hasn't been unbearable as she has been in the past.
Yeah.
I think Robin leaving, kind of let her breathe a little bit, and we didn't have to be, subjected to their nonsense and their sidekickness and Robin up Giselle's bush. So it kind of made Giselle be a little bit more freer. Like I said, it kind of opened the door for her and Wendy to reconcile without those outside interferences. Because I feel like if Robin was still there, Giselle and Wendy would not be friends. Because Robin has held on to this beef with Wendy because Wendy wore her and Giselle ass out when they was on their trip, and she has not and she just won't let it go, even though she inserted herself in the middle of it when no one was talking to her. So
she actually was talking to her when she said I thought it was really strange. But Robin said at some point, Wendy says the fake relationship part wasn't about Giselle. The fake relationship part was about her and Juan. That wasn't about Giselle. It may have seemed, that's the reason why and it's true, because the next day when they were at breakfast, she sat down and said, well, now that we got something, let me call you. Oh, she was on the phone with Juan. She was like, well, let me get off this phone since we in a fake relationship. Y'all remember that? That wasn't for, but when you were watching it in real time, it seemed like that was for Giselle, but they cut that scene up. That was actually for Robin. That's the reason why she responded like that the next day. And they talked. They actually talked at that table because she was just like, "That's crazy. You adjusted my engagement. What about this?"
She said the fake relationship and stuff like that again after Robin insinuated herself into the conversation.
I still don't understand what, and just it's a little bit off topic, but it's still Robin. She didn't come to the event because of the way she left the show.
I was actually surprised Giselle said that.
What about her leaving the show would have stopped her from coming to an event? What I miss?
So I don't know, but to be honest with you, I really don't care because Robin is boring. Nobody wants to see her on our damn screens in the first place.
I don't think she's boring.
I think all the housewives that was on Traders were there. So because it was BravoCon is for all the shows that's on Bravo associated with Bravo.
Really? I've never noticed anybody other than housewives.
Oh no, they had no. Oh except it might be, but they invited. Everybody doesn't get invited to BravoCon. Robin was invited to BravoCon because of Traders. Because if you go back to the
I'm ready to see this
panel she was on, The panels that
Oh,
she was
okay.
on were related to traders.
Oh, that's why she told the one person. We're here talking about traders, not the housewives. Okay. I didn't know that, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, yes, that's why she said that. We're here to
Hmm.
talk about traders, not housewives.
So
Yeah.
otherwise, you don't think she would have been invited?
I had no, she wouldn't have
Oh
been.
my
No,
God.
because I mean, she's not one of those
She's
housewives that
not
we
a
just care
housewife. She's
about
not a
like that.
current housewife.
I mean, it's not even about that because they have people in BravoCon that are not current housewives. But
Phaedra was
again,
there when she wasn't current housewife.
who is Robin to really just care about like that?
She
Yeah,
she she is Robin.
yeah, she was
No,
invited
Robin
there
isn't
because
interested enough. You know, people like I said, they have people there that's not housewives. Camille Grammer was there, but again, Camille was a little bit more entertaining than Robin. So
and
I
she
mean,
may have been nominated for a scene of some sort. Like they had like an awards thing, which was actually kind of funny. Like they had them like who is the shadiest, and they would have scenes, and they had a lot of scenes from old seasons. Um, because the scene that they picked for, you know that they trying to stay away from Kenya, because the scene that they picked for Phaedra to display who were in the four that were in the running to get the shadiest housewife award wasn't even the scene with what she said to Kenya. It was something else that she said that was like crazy. I was like, why would they put that in there and not what she said to Kenya?
which was horrible, by the way.
I'm not saying that it wasn't horrible, but that read is like infamous. And
I
she
mean,
won the
maybe.
award. She won the award, but anyway, that's why a lot of housewives were also invited to BravoCon. Because I was surprised to see Jennifer there from Housewives of New Jersey, because she had announced prematurely, possibly, I don't know, likely not, because she did, that she wasn't coming back because she
Oh, did
was.
y'all see that they say Jersey is commencing filming in February of next year? I don't know if that's. I just seen that. I don't know if it's like
I'm sure it's
shooting.
based around Teresa and Melissa again, because that's the reason why they was making up a couple of weeks ago.
And thank God. And if Melissa was smart, she would have done that a long time ago. But
Yeah,
that's another
I've
story
been
for another
saying
day.
that. Like she's super weird. Like
This is
two
not that goddamn
sister-in-law
hard to
should
team
run
up
that.
to go against Mars. It's not that hard.
Yeah, two sister-in-law should almost run that series.
They
The mere
really
fact
should.
that
They really should.
yeah, the mere fact that they're fighting is just
Hmm.
it's just crazy at this point. Like,
But we have Mars to blame for how toxic it got.
yeah, it got real bad. I heard she begging. That's according to the blogs.
I
Marge
bet she
is
is.
begging to come back.
I bet she is because Marge has nothing else going on with her life. This is the show is her life. Marge
Is
has
it expected
nothing
that
else
she won't
going
come back?
on.
I don't know.
Mm.
I heard that they had been test filming with some people in New Jersey.
To
You
be
know,
honest, they could have kept the same exact cast they had and just kicked Marge to the curb.
so I
Literally.
don't know.
He
I
was the
hate that she got so
problem.
evil or whatever happened because I used to like
Yeah,
Marge with her goofy ponytails. She was.
yeah, it's
Let's get
like
back to Potomac. Let's get back to Potomac.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, look.
Very bad. What y'all think about this scene with Keiarna and Greg, where Greg then gave this woman a present from the same store that they aired on TV with him last week, looking at 15 karat rings.
And what picture is he gonna put in the frame? I mean, what was there a
Now, and
certain?
he gives her a picture frame.
I can't. I
it's just like,
And
can't.
when she
oh
picked it up,
Lord
she
Jesus.
said, "Oh, it better be a ring in this box."
She knew there wasn't gonna be no ring. That they are cringe to me. I don't. There's
Yeah.
something I
Getting
don't.
better. He trying. He baby. He
He
trying.
is fine.
Like
He
Well,
every
is
time I
fine.
watch Greg,
But
I'm
what
like,
Giselle said in her after show made a lot of sense,
what she
though.
say?
She
who?
was like, basically, she had like a one-on-one conversation with Greg, and she was like, she asked him like, when are you gonna marry her? Like, what's the whole
And what did
deal?
he say? He said, as if he didn't really
She
say
said
here
that he was
January 1.
basically. She said basically he was just like, Kay wants a lot of things, and
Mm-hmm.
those things that she wants is expensive, like And Giselle was like, basically she kind of understood where he was coming from. She want all of these things. These things have to be
Mm-hmm.
planned out. Money is involved. Like, it ain't like he a multimillionaire or something. So she kind of understood, like, his point of view and, how, kind of how he felt. She basically was like, like, talking to him made her understand a little bit, like, you know.
Mm. He
Well,
seems to be he seems to be putting on. And yes, I know they probably had a talk, and you need to act a little different way if you want to be on camera. You knew we were going to do this, whatever. But he seems to be putting on big time. And the only problem with that is when you're no longer able to put on, what are we going to get? The Greg that we had last season that didn't really want to be there, and it was clear. So
I don't
that's the
know.
only thing.
I
How
kind of
did
feel
he
like he
pull
was.
her?
I kind of feel like he was. I kind of feel like he was a little bit more. He has been a little bit more open this season.
He is. He's putting on
He's a lot more open. Yeah,
it
he's
with
putting on
everything
his
that comes with
cringy.
that.
Yeah, it's cringy. He's trying. She
Yeah,
asked him to do something, and I'll give it to him. He's trying, but
he
he
is
is
trying.
awkward as hell.
He is, and that awkwardness is what we look at and be like, "Oh yeah, they had a long
How did
You
he
conversation."
can,
pull
you,
her?
you can
How did
tell
he
that
Well,
pull
he's
her?
like. You can tell that he's like kind of.
Wait a
He's
minute.
slowly
how did
adjusting
he
to the
pull her? I
camera.
thought he was a cop.
How did he pull her? Like for real?
I
I
mean, it's
had the
clear.
wrong
I
story.
mean, it's not all about looks for some people.
He ain't ugly.
outside of the cameras, who knows? Greg might have a very fun personality, and we just don't know that because I mean he's still adjusting to the camera, so he's probably not showing. We are probably only seeing one side of who he really is, and he might be a completely different person. Without those cameras following him around and stuff like that. You just never know. So
Well,
that's what I think it could be. And then he does have something going for himself. He has a career. It might not be like I said a multi-millionaire, but he's doing like a good thing. Like his career is like helping kids and stuff like that. So I mean, he has something going for himself. So he's like an everyday guy. Some people like that type of stuff. He shows stability.
I just would feel so bad if they never really got married.
Me too, but I understand where Kay was coming from. Like, yeah, she does want to get married, but she's not like rushing things. From what she said on the after show, like I feel like they've discussed their relationship and they know where it's at. I feel like when you get on Housewives and on TV, they always pushing for marriage and this, and that. When truly in real life, not everybody gets married right off the bat.
Who
Like,
was that that said? Who was that that said? Oh, Candace said that.
cut me off, Joy.
Oh, Candace said that when she got on Potomac that
Okay.
that was kind of pressure. She didn't say it was pressure. I don't know exactly how she said it, but she all but said, I don't think her and Chris was as far along as we thought. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Kind of
Like
basically what I was
like
saying.
yeah, they were getting like a nudge from production
Yeah,
to
because
kind
like
of
be married and present I guess like the housewife thing when in reality you know you don't get married that fast. People be together for a year, 2 years, 3 years, sometimes longer before they actually like get married because true enough you really don't know a person with like then a year, like depending on what age you are, you don't really like know a person. And Kay's still pretty young. I mean, she's still in her 30s, so like I mean, I don't know, because I feel like if I'm 38, though, like, babe, we don't need to be together that long to know if you want to be with me or not. We're not
yeah.
22.
I'm like, especially if she wants like children, like
Yeah.
37, she's already in the age of a
Yeah.
geriatric pregnancy. She's already there.
And
Like,
don't Greg got kids already?
yeah, he does. And that's what
Yeah.
I was wondering. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm wondering, is he trying to wait out her fertile years? Or like that's kind of weird. Like, usually men, and unless I have been hearing that he had a really bad experience. So if that's true, that might be a part of his hesitation. But if you are already financing a woman, buying her condos and stuff, like
Yeah.
why not marry her? That doesn't even make sense to me. Like, I'm keeping it a book. Like, do you want a
Maybe
condo
he
or do
feel
you
like
want a
maybe
wedding? You know,
yeah,
that whole kind.
basically, yeah. I was gonna say he might feel like the condo is a little bit cheaper than the wedding.
Right. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know what his hesitation is, but it does feel like there's hesitation there. You know, you eager for me to move in with you, but you don't want to get married. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, he wanted them to stay together. He wanted them to be together. Like, it's weird to me.
Yeah, but I mean, if he recently did just get out of a divorce, that could also be the reason why he's really not trying to get married so fast. He's probably trying to learn himself all over again because
Well,
they
that's
haven't been
fine.
together
Learn
that
yourself.
long.
Don't learn yourself in a relationship with a woman that wants this then. Like, I feel you on um you know, he didn't got a divorce, the situation wasn't a great experience, and you trying to find your footing in life. I get all of that, like, I do. But, like, why get involved with a woman that wants that? Kay
Yeah, that's
wants
true
that.
too. That's
Like,
true too.
if I ain't really been on the dating scene like that, but I would feel humiliated, you know, if I got a voice out loud, you know, dude, marry me. Like, and that's what you saying every time you say, is it a ring in here? Or you talking about a ring and your mama talking about rings, and like, it's just weird to me. I
You
don't know.
know,
And it makes her look desperate.
Yeah, it does.
yeah, it does.
It
So
does. It make her look desperate.
yeah.
And I'm like, again, that's why I asked, like, why, how did he pull her? Because, like, Kay ain't no unattractive girl. She's an attractive girl, you know, and he's not very attractive. He's not ugly, but
No, he's not ugly.
he's not what I would call handsome either.
I just wish, you know, I would hate when he first came back on this season and we saw him, he was clearly drunk. I don't know if it was on the
Who?
show or Greg. He was clearly, I don't know if it was a preview or something, but he was clear. I remember posting and saying, is it just me or is he completely inebriated?
Oh,
And so, he was possibly doing that just to be a little bit more comfortable around filming. And
yeah,
so to me, that's scary
yeah,
because what if you
loosen up.
continue to
Yeah.
have to be tipsy in order to be around the camera?
There are a lot of people that do have to drink to be. I can
and that's my
imagine.
point. That's
Because they
dangerous.
said that they in a couple of the lawsuits that people have had
Hmm.
against Bravo, that was one of the things that they mentioned is that Bravo always is you know, encouraging alcohol, a lot of alcohol. That has been in a couple of lawsuits. Like, they ain't got no food in the house, the food on the way, but they didn't walked in the door and it's a full bar just
Yeah.
waiting on them.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, it's that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it is what it is. I think that's why Nene had gotten drunk on her first season of Atlanta. Nene said she would never get that drunk again. I think she was drunk that day she simulated she was gonna spit on Kenya. But there's certain people that didn't want to drink on camera, and I understood why, because you know when you drunk, your most intrusive thoughts are just right there, and you don't have the inhibition to stop. You
Yeah.
you you know it's
Toya, for example, recent episode of Married to Medicine. Yeah.
oh my God, did y'all see Married to Medicine? The Married to Medicine that
They're
was
having a
on,
really good season,
yeah, they
actually, so
are like
far.
they giving like this. We'll get there at the end. Y'all want to do that, or let's finish up with Wendy and her mama.
Yeah, we'll finish on that the episode.
Okay, yeah, let's. Anyway, I thought this was the realest scene that I've seen from Wendy, and that this season she's been. I ain't seen her fake not one scene. So, and I think this was real. Nothing about this scene fake.
Yeah, you could tell there was like really like a real deal argument happening right in front of us.
You notice how the difference between first of all, Wendy was right to try to get those kids out the house. I mean, out of that conversation. That was a grown people conversation. I understood why she wanted the kids out the house. Because even if before it got ugly. You know what I mean? But the grandma was just, she was on fire. Her mama was talking crazy to Wendy, and Wendy was just taking it. Her mama humbles her. Like she was just taking it.
She's better than me because I would have been meeting my mama right there where
Yeah,
she was.
she just took it.
I love
And
when she told them to get out her house though. I was like, yes, Wendy, because girl, if you don't get your ass out my house with this bullshit, you're not gonna
I
cuss me out of
understood
my
the
kids.
whose side y'all on more on, Wendy's or her mama?
I'll say Wendy's because it's just like it's not wrong for Wendy to want to have a relationship with her father. Though what Wendy's mom is saying is true. You know, if Wendy wants to have a relationship with her, that's her. You don't have to have a relationship with him. Her sister doesn't have to have a relationship. Like that's y'all. If that's what y'all want to do, that has nothing to do with Wendy. Wendy is her
Yeah,
own person.
they were mad that they were trying to protect his name. Wendy trying to get the kids out the room was Wendy's way of protecting her father's name. She didn't want them to have this conversation in front of them. And that's why they were mad. They were like, why are you protecting his name? And that's why the mama said to grandchildren that he hasn't even seen. So it was about, that's really what the argument was about. It wasn't about whether or not she was trying to have a relationship with him. It was about that singular issue. Now I'm sure it's a little mixed in there. You know, they ain't crazy about that, but Wendy has a valid reason for wanting that. Like it's sad because how calm her sister was, because she agrees with the mother. She agrees 100% with the mother because she ain't step in to help the situation at no point. Because she even accused her mama of trying to have a moment. That's reality TV talk.
I don't think Wendy's mom was having a moment. I think that she would have reacted that same way whether the cameras was there or not.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just telling you what Wendy accused her of. She's saying you trying to have a moment. She looked at her sister and said, "You know what she trying to do." So, like, it's like she's accusing her of performing. I get her mama, but I get Wendy. But I will say this: when which I can appreciate, when Wendy said it's always 2 against 1, I'm always by myself. Eddie said, "You always got me." I said, "Oh,
I know, right? Like,
oh, that was sweet." And now I'm like, I don't know if you all peep their dynamic. Wendy is soft with this dude.
Oh yeah.
I don't think she is the pit bull. Like we've seen her act like a pit bull. Like she controls the sexual part of their life. So yeah, you better not pick Mia when they asked who here would he sleep with. That was a question that they asked all the men, and Wendy was like, "You better not put that name." But I don't think that Wendy runs that relationship. Eddie 100% runs this relationship. And I'm saying this because, yes, I am of the thought that this whole insurance stuff was Eddie's idea. I do not believe it was Wendy's. I think he thought of it, and Wendy, they tried to make it happen. But they going to jail.
They are.
I hate it for them, but they going to jail.
I really hate
unless it's some kind of technicality out there that we don't know about. They go, and the trial is in April 2026. When it's either I don't know what it didn't say what dates, but that's right before filming.
Bravo got something to do with it all.
And they could go up on filming early to capture all of this.
And someone tells me they just might do that.
Yeah, like I'm keeping it a buck with y'all. Like this, Wendy is about to have 1 HE hockey sticks of a season next year. If they do that, like they'll start because they're about to film.
What the reunion gonna be
and
like.
Hopefully if she comes,
I think
she's coming. I think you know who I don't think is coming to the reunion.
Who?
Angel.
No, she been talking too much shit. I think she's coming.
Okay.
Angel ain't gonna,
I
she
think
ain't
she's
gonna be.
coming.
Angel's gonna be in another rental she forgot to move out of. She ain't gonna have time to come. She didn't call the U-Haul in time. She
No,
couldn't make it to the
I think she's gonna
reunion.
come.
Her
I think she's gonna
sister was
come.
not able to drive her in the Uber. I mean, it's gonna be a big deal.
I just don't see her coming. I would be. I'm not saying. I mean, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
okay with being wrong, but I just don't think she's gonna come up. Like she has very low energy. Like people are also been calling her Eeyore, and y'all remember Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, the Blue
No.
King.
Oh my
That's because
God,
it
let me
was
go look him
because
up.
they were real sad. Like she has very low. Even how she talks is like I'm about another sad love song breaking my day. I'm going crazy. Like that is her tone, the whole conversation. And to her, this might be her Stacy voice. This might be her radio voice. And she doesn't know how to turn it off because if you all don't know, um, that girl has been on a whole bunch of TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about Angel. She's been on a lot of TV shows and she usually plays like documentary type shows like For Your Man. And she's one of the experts in the middle. Like, because I noticed when she was doing that show, it's the same accent, and we've heard her out of accent. And this is like Stacy. Stacy doesn't, her QVC voice is different than her real voice. And if y'all watch the after show, you hear her real voice a lot more. I've heard it a couple of episodes this season. Because I think the real Stacy is far more interesting in what she's trying to present. But she's definitely faking her life, and she not with Timu. And she proved it this episode. I think I already said it. She proved, if I did, I don't know if you all heard, but I'll say it again. She proved that that she's faking. Timu asked to come home in this episode, and she was like, "Yeah, you can come home." And then she filmed. Now, mind you, filming has ended in June. It's probably July, or early August at the most. She was asked on the after show, which was filmed in November, early November, by the way. Whatever the date was that Wendy got arrested, like 3 or 4 days later, they filmed the after show for this season. And when they filmed the after show, they talked about that scene this week, and they asked Stacy, "Does Timu live there?" And she said no. Stacy don't. I think Giselle might be right again when Stacy, because Giselle said in this week's episode of the after show that in real life the real Stacy can't stand that man. They said he played her in a divorce. I'm telling you, she's promised him something. I'm so with Montique when she says that they planned this. It feels very obvious to me. Stacy can't stand that man.
I said that earlier. That was her best option after the whole
Yeah.
TJ fiasco.
Yeah. And so she's, Stacy is seeing this show for a money grab. I don't like that. I don't mind you coming on here because you want to, there are a lot of girls that come on here to sell a brand. That's what I think Angel did. I think she wanted to sell her brand. I don't know yet if she has any other ambitious as far as business is concerned. But Stacy came on this show
Yeah,
to
they
make
talked about
money.
business multiple times.
Huh?
They talked about Angel's business multiple times.
What is it?
Her and her husband have like a thing where they like, people be booking and they like take them around like the outdoorsness and the nature and do all of that. They've talked about that a lot.
I don't know
I
how I
forgot
missed
what I
it.
forgot what it's called, but they talked about that several times.
And
That just didn't capture my attention, I guess.
it didn't. It's in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was saying this goes more and more into if you got a business there, your home is there. Why are you in Virginia?
Yeah.
Like, why are you in Virginia? Like, I don't, I kind of believe that. Like, I don't think Angel is putting any roots in this show. I don't understand why she's there. I want her to have another season but only if it's without Kay. You can't have both of them on next season because they're not allowing anybody to get to know the other. Like Keiarna wanted to create moments. Like they talk about that. Yeah, the after show is really good. They actually talk about that. That the information that when they was trying to take the information of Monique that Stacy was messing with her ex, when they were saying that it felt dirty because she wasn't comfortable with the information. So somebody told her to say that to Monique.
That's just silly.
Yeah, like they actually talk about it openly on at the after the show. The after show is really good. It gives you an insight into every episode. And all of them did it. All of them show up. They real shady. But you'll see the difference with how Angel talks. She said some word that was like regular. Some. I know they keep saying I have a high vocabulary and I say these dictionary words, but I'm sorry, I read. Like she kind of mean. She like really kind of mean, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
What else happened on the episode?
That was really the last scene. Was like Wendy and her mom and her sister like duking it out. That was the last scene, but
that was a sad scene too.
It was, but I'll give it to Wendy. She giving us something to talk about and to look at. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
But let's hop on over here to Married to Medicine right quick. I don't know how y'all felt about Married to Medicine, but that was also a very good episode.
I didn't. I think I saw one clip.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, it was a really good episode. Like every episode was like filled with like drama and like real conversations. My daughter was watching, she was in town. She went home this morning. She said, this is one emotional scene after the next. That's why what made me type that in the group chat.
In the message.
Yeah.
I don't understand what is up with Toya.
She is
going on. Always.
He said something. She asked him to do something, but Toya's tone deaf.
Ooh.
Because she don't see what she said to her husband is wrong. Like she don't see.
Yeah.
Like at all.
Well, and so I wasn't on the I think it was on the preview that we'll see this week where they sat down and talked about it after the fact, and he was giving her kind of ways on maybe how it could have been handled, and she was open to it. So they had a full conversation before they started filming again. He has gotten so used to it, he's now teaching her how to speak to her once the cameras are around to make it look like she's really trying to make a change. That's him, it ain't her. It's weird to me. It's kind of scary because she be going off and he's just used to it.
I mean, she went off on him in front of like a whole party of people. And like essentially this was their introduction to their house, a housewarming.
And she cussed all of them out. Called all of them these.
Yeah. And then left, and then a couple of the ladies went over there. Like Eugene, of like all the husbands, like if there was a group and somebody asked of all the men on Married to Medicine, they had their pictures up, and they said of all those husbands, you had to take one, which one you take. I know 70% said Eugene.
Oh,
yeah, and it's not based off of looks. Like he's a nice guy. He was just a black nerd, and he got a fly girl. The nerd married a fly girl. And that, I mean, and he has gotten, and he likes the drama a little bit. I think he's turned on about it. And I think he's turned on about it.
I don't think he's turned on. I think he's.
I think he is. I think Toya is probably one of the questions that they ask of all of those people, who has made the least, like who is like the same person. Toya is very explosive. There's a core memory about Married to Medicine I'll never forget. And that was when they were on vacation once, and Eugene said something, and Toya said, boy, you better take this biscuit and put it in your mouth and shut up.
Oh, I believe
That was one of the most evil things I done ever heard. You think that's a one-off?
and
Y'all
you
think
still
that was
talking. You are still talking.
talking? Yes. You think that
Oh,
was the first time
absolutely.
they ever had that conversation? She talked to him like that. Like that's how she talked to him.
I
And
just don't get the point though. Why? In public.
I have no idea. Like that's like toxic behavior.
It
Like
is, so I guess not really why does she? Why can't she keep it out of the public is what I want to know.
I don't know.
As an adult,
She's
how can
showing
you
her
not
real
filter
life.
yourself enough to chill?
She's showing her real life, so I
She
can't be too
said
mad.
she was
Yeah,
on
you're
Watch
right.
What's Happening Live. She said she was frustrated because, and they did show what he said, because she asked him to take the men over there, do something. And he said, I ain't ready. I don't want to do it right now. Something.
And she said you ain't no leader.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And yeah, that's how they were talking to each other. And that's really what kicked off everything. And she said he is so busy worried about what everybody else says. And she said Eugene has never done that before. Like he would be like, don't nobody care about what they think. And she said that particular day, all of a sudden he cared and she was frustrated about
okay. Still no excuse. Okay. Yeah, she
it.
don't care, but yeah, I know. It's just sad.
And also, if y'all have been watching Married to Medicine, I don't know how y'all feel about Quad and King. Like, I'm sure they may have may be a lovely couple off screen, but like King, he almost talk. I don't think he realizes that how he's acting is coming across very negatively, because most people don't believe that King wants a baby.
I don't believe he wants her. I don't believe it.
Yeah,
It's just not believable
it's
at
not.
all. No. He cute though, but no. I don't believe anything with them two. Mm-mm. It's all fake. I just don't get it. But
And she, because one of the things that I found interesting is that she's still not pregnant,
thank you.
and
And
she's filmed in Africa. I don't know if she filmed in Africa or she had her own camera or something, but they go to Africa.
so they're still together.
I don't know, but they go to. I don't know.
I mean, because I don't follow her heavily, but usually if she's posted with him, it'll kind of get out, and I'll see it on somebody else's feed. I ain't seen nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad that the blogs, something is happening, because the blogs have kind of dwindled. It's almost like the ghetto ones are, I guess they went back to regular jobs. But the bigger ones are still around, like the Shade Room. The big ones are still around. Bravo TV. But if you notice, we would come across all kind of gossip about filming and stuff. We get a lot of like tea for like Atlanta. We would be finding out. We would know conflicts. Like nothing is getting leaked. I actually don't. I actually personally, I don't like the connection that bloggers have with a lot of the reality shows. Anyway, I think it was going to ruin it. So I'm glad that they've taken that element away. It's almost like the blogs have subsided. Because if you all watch the Housewives of New Jersey, they depended upon it. The show was almost surrounded around what was going on in the blogs.
Yeah,
it was to the point where it was annoying.
Wait, y'all. Wait, before we get off of here, I just have to take into consideration all of how everybody has been having Stacey sales things, like as if she was on QVC. Like how she was just on the Drew Barrymore show, and she just did an interview with Carlos. He had her literally sell a glass of water. It's like, good lord! It's like Stacey knows she got a job if Housewives ever fail.
Carlos King. Did y'all watch the interview that Carlos did to her? Yeah, Carlos named her the MVP, I guess, this year, Housewives.
And I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know about
I do
that.
too.
Did y'all hear
I
that
do.
Nene is in negotiations for the ultimate girls trip?
Yeah,
Uh, I
I
think.
only heard that from you.
Oh,
yeah,
you
I,
seen it?
yeah,
Yeah.
I seen it. Yeah,
When I
I
heard
didn't see it.
about it, I've heard about it. And when Andy was explaining it, I said Nene would be really good for that. It is fact though that Bravo, not Bravo, I don't know what wing it is of NBC. It's really Peacock. Did reach out to Nene to be on Traders, the season that Portia just did. She just couldn't film because her son was in the hospital, and
Yeah.
he confirmed that. So and the whole parent company is NBC. So
Hmm.
you know, yeah. So anyway, my point is, I can see them offering her this because when Andy was explaining the show, he said it's gonna be some housewives we ain't seen in many, 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 many years, and I said, yeah, if they got some sense, they didn't call Nene. I think Nene needs to be making some steps back. If she brings some ratings and breathes some new life into the ultimate girls trip, that road trip, I think it's what
Hmm.
she'll come back to Housewives because, as people say, they don't think nobody could save Housewives more than Nene. And I don't can't imagine what this season is going to be about. We ain't had no leaks like all season,
Yeah.
like no leaks about Atlanta, so we don't have a clue what's
yes,
going.
we have.
What
Like
leaks
what?
here?
They even argued on Twitter and some more stuff when they was filming.
Well, but I don't consider that a leak.
Wait a minute. What? Say that again,
I
D.
mean, we know who's gonna be beefing, so that technically is a leak.
No. Okay.
Well, I guess, yeah.
A leak with not as much details as we might have gotten before.
Yeah, back in the day, we would get a
Hmm.
storyline. If we
Yeah.
would know why they're beefing, we would know the scenario. We don't, I'm not mad that that's a good thing, but we just don't know nothing. I don't even know what
Yeah.
to tell you. You
And
know,
Cynthia's also like told some stuff too on her podcast with Crystal.
she what?
Cynthia has also told some stuff.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we gonna see. We gonna see.
And
But
speaking of
and
Cynthia
oh wait a minute.
Peter,
Also, one of the couples, the new couple, I think this is their second season on Married to Medicine. They have an autistic son on there, and they're kind of showing like real stuff. Like
yeah,
this was a really good episode.
yeah, that was touching
Yeah, it was a really good episode.
because they were both crying.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe I
yeah,
watched more of it than I thought. I was paying attention this episode.
yeah. It was a good episode.
Hmm.
But
And they seem like they'll be a good couple on that show.
I guess they said she the shadiest one.
I
Who was
see that
that?
in her.
Yeah. They said who got all the energy from your cast? That was Toya. They asked Toya this. Who is the person that got um the most shadiest confessionals, but none of that for your face? And they said her.
Mimi,
Really?
yeah, Mimi.
Yeah.
Okay. She
So
reminds me of the girl on the Bell Collective. I mean, it's like looking at the same couple. Do y'all watch Bell Collective?
yeah. Oh, you're talking
A
about
little bit, not like
I
thankfully.
I can't. I don't know their name, but
you
they
talking
look
about
alike. Even.
Latrice and Cliff.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the new couple on there, the newest
I
couple.
know. I know. Who are you
It's
comparing
not
to Bill
Latrice.
Collective?
I'm comparing them to the new. Let me look up their names real quick because they are the same as this couple on Married to Medicine. I just like I'm looking at the same people. I'll look it up here. He's
But
an
anyway.
ex-football player or something. Hold on.
But we gonna get on out of here, y'all. I like this episode. This was one of the best. Like it was Sunday night was a good night for TV. It was like really good episode. So I hope whoever's editing keeps this up because they giving us story and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So peace out. We'll see y'all next week.
Hold on, y'all. Can y'all hang out till I find this name?
Oh.
Look, Joy was ready to go. Where is that? I'll put it in message. If it's important, we'll post it. But all right. Okay, y'all. Well, have a good Christmas then.
You too.
Alrighty.
Okay, y'all.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Mm.